Greetings from San Francisco Children's Art Center. I am teacher Amy, and in this video, we're going to do some Lego printmaking. So to do this, you'll need a few things. Some Lego pieces. I have a Lego fan in my house, so we had lots of different ones to choose from. I looked for things that are different shapes and different sizes. But mostly, I was just looking at the shapes and what shapes that they were. Here's one that was like a round one, some squares and rectangles, some circular ones. And then you'll need some paper, and then you'll need some paint. This is just some like liquid craft paint. You could do liquid tempera, whatever paint you have on hand, or you can pick up inexpensively, is just fine. And then something to put the paint on. I'm just going to use a paper plate. So you'll start by squeezing out just a small amount of paint onto your plate. You don't need a ton of paint. The less paint you use, the better this works. That's probably all you'll need. You have your paper ready. And when you do this printmaking, basically printmaking is any time that you use something else to apply paint or ink to the surface of your paper. Normally we'll draw or we'll paint and we'll use our hand and a tool to put it on. In printmaking, you create an object that then gets paint or ink applied to it and then added to the paper. So it's an indirect process versus directly painting or drawing. So this is really about creating a composition of your shapes using this Lego to make prints. So it's kind of like using a stamp and a stamp pad. I'm going to start with a circle, and I'll just maybe start the circle in the center. I like that. I'm going to add a few more. Maybe you want to have a second paper plate nearby to put painty things. Let's try this one with these points on it. See how that's different from the other circle. Oh, that makes something completely different from the last ones. You can start to think about how these shapes have relationships with each other. Let's try this piece and see what happens. Interesting. You can even make a little handle if you're wanting to make a piece and it's hard to pick up because it's kind of smallish. You can attach a little Lego handle to it, and that'll help keep your fingers out of the paint. What happens with that one? Oh, I expected something completely different with that. Sometimes it's an interesting surprise what comes out once you've made these. Let's try this shape and get my handle. Let's see what this triangular shape looks like. Get all in the paint. So I've seen people, ooh, that's interesting, make some really interesting things. You know, it's almost like some Lego creations got flattened out. I've seen people make robots and inventions, all different kinds of things. Oh, what about this tire here? What happens with this one? Ah, those look like the cogs on a machine for sure. I'm starting to see how a machine could be coming out of this. Let's see, let's try this. This time I'm going to put it in sideways. So it's really just about finding some pieces, seeing the shapes, laying them in some paint, and then making your composition. I'm using just one color here. You could certainly use more than one color if you had more than one color paint, but I sort of like how it looks with just one color. Ooh. Maybe I'll fill those boxes with some circles. Sometimes one thing will give you an idea of what's the next things to do. You just have to pay attention and listen to what the materials are telling you to create. So one of the awesome things about printmaking with Legos is it allows you to rethink what Legos really are for. You know, they have a pretty open-ended creation process when you create with Legos, but doing printmaking in this way and using Legos in this way really busts open the possibilities of what Legos can be. And that's what's amazing about making art, is that you can certainly do things the way they've always been done, or you can use the power of art to imagine new ways that things can be, new ways to use, new ideas to explore. So I hope that you have a lot of fun painting and creating with your Legos and using Legos in a way you've maybe never used them before to create interesting expressions that show your brain thinking as it comes out on the page. And if you feel really proud about what you've made, please send us an email with some pictures of what you've done. You can send it to sfcac@childrensartcenter.org, and we'll share it on our community webpage where you can show what you've made and you can enjoy things that other kids have made as well. I hope you'll join us again for another video where we can create art together and have some fun. Take care.